Hello again, everybody. This is Lance Russell. Obviously not at ringside and obviously not with my old sidekick, Dave Brown. We'll be joining Dave in the studio, but this is a very, very special week coming up. We have a brand new world heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler. We're going to be looking at some highlight action from that bout that he had with Curt Hennig. We'll also be looking at the Bruise brothers, who are looking to regain the Southern Tag Team titles. We'll be talking with Bill Superstar Dundee, who will be the first opponent for the King as the new World Heavyweight Champion. And we'll be having lots of other segment actions, including the fabulous one, Steve Kern and Mike Graham. Many other things happening on this program today. What an exceptional show to start it off. We'll be back in a few moments as we'll be taking a look at the highlight action of Jerry the King Lawler going against Curt Hennig for the World Heavyweight title. The circumstances, Jerry the King Lawler had said, enough is enough. I want one more shot at the World Heavyweight title, and if I can't win it in that shot, then I'm going to hang him up. That's right. The King said, I'll be the new champion, or this is the last hurrah. That was all of the background coming into the action Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, when Curt Hennig, the AWA World Heavyweight title holder, brought his title into the Coliseum. Jerry the King Lawler was there, ready to challenge again. But this would be the final one by Lawler's admission. The special referee, the fabulous one, Jackie Fargo, as selected by the fans throughout the United States to referee that match. We have the highlights of what took place in the Coliseum before a packed house to see this last hurrah or the crowning of a new champion. Here we go to the Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee.
It says, don't hit him with your fist, Jackie. And he lets loose with another one. Hennig, Lawler connect at the same time with right hand. Down they go. Jackie counts 1, 2. Remember, if there's a double count out, Lawler covers. Count of 1, 2. And Hennig beats the count by a split second just before the 20-minute mark.
Well, the King just barely survived an earlier count as he was able to break out of it just before a 3 count. Curt Hennig right there almost had lost the world title to Lawler, but at the last instant he was able to get the shoulder up. It's Hennig again with the advantage now. Lawler on the mat. Hennig drops down. The shoulders are down. Whoop. Hair pulling. And Jackie Fargo's not going to start the count.
Explain that one to me.
He said that Hennig pulled Lawler's hair when he dropped down there.
Curt Hennig blasts Lawler again. Goes into a front face lock. Looks like he's going for a suplex. Puts Lawler over and goes immediately for the cover 1. Count of 2, and Lawler counts out. And now Hennig is getting upset with Jackie Fargo. Well, he was saved on what was a questionable count. I'm sure Lawler would question it earlier. So it has been pretty well down the middle. And now with a sleeper hold. And what is this? Hennig told to break because he had Lawler's hair. Jackie says break again. Hennig breaks and goes right back at it.
See that particular instance of hair pulling, but Hennig has this habit of when he's going to hit Lawler, he'll grab him by the hair first. Well, I think Jackie is calling him on that. A lot of times that doesn't get called in a match.
Well, here's in this one, when he has a sleeper, you can see his right hand is on the forehead. Prior to Jackie's breaking it up, he was using the hair to anchor his.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. He's trying to do it again here.
Boy, look at the blood streaming off of Lawler down Henning's arm. And Jerry trying to fight his way back to his knees. So much riding on this for the King. If he cannot wrest the crown away from Curt Hennig, Lawler will hang it up and end an incredible 15-year career in professional wrestling. Jackie Fargo, as Hennig refuses to let go of that sleeper, he slipped up on his back. Lawler still not ready to give it up. He's on his feet and alive, I can't say well. And Lawler falls face first into the corner, driving Hennig's head into the top turnbuckle, and for the moment, it saved the King.
Things are not looking good, though, for Lawler. Lawler cut. He's hurt. He's not moving well in the ring. Looks like the stronger of the two at the moment.
I think the action outside the ring when Hennig slammed him to the ring post 3 times, hit him on the middle retaining fence around the ring, really is what took it out. The referee tells Hennig to back up while Fargo looks at the eye. He was tempted to stop it right then and there. Look at Hennig blast that eye. Whoa! Hennig is saying ring the bell, but the referee hadn't said ring the bell. Hennig is just blasting him unmercifully on that eye. And the referee keeps checking it, but Lawler stops Fargo from giving the match. Boom! And Lawler with the right hand puts Hennig down. He's a long way from through. This guy with this amazing ability to come back, the King, Jerry Lawler, shoots him on a catapult into the turnbuckle. Hennig is down. The crowd wants Lawler to come over and cover up. He covers. 1, 2. He got him! A new world heavyweight champion, Jerry Lawler, in 24-27.
Incredible! A new world heavyweight champion, the King, Jerry Lawler, has just beaten Curt Hennig. Lawler, bloody right eye and all, being congratulated now by the guys from the back who are coming out here with the King, now not only the King, but the world champion.
In the air, the great belt signifying the world champion, Jerry Jarrett, promoter Eddie Marlin. They're all up there as the King turned what looked like sure defeat into a victory. And Lawler in 24 minutes, 27 seconds, raises the hand with the belt, signifying he is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
A great match with thousands of happy fans as the King became the new world heavyweight champion. It might surprise you to know that one of Lawler's bitterest opponents was one of the happiest guys in the arena, Bill Superstar Dundee. Billy?
Thank you, Lancer. You know, there was 10,000 people, maybe more out there, and when the referee went 1, 2, 3, there was 10,001 jumped up and cheered. Lancer, you was there, and I was standing at the back, and I watched. And I just want to tell you something, Jerry Lawler, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Out of all the folks that was there, maybe the only person that was in the building that was happier than me that you won was you, brother. Now, you know, how can I put this to you? Now, I know you, some people will be saying, oh, there's a motive at the back of that. No, sir, there ain't. It's just mutual respect. And let me put it this way to you. Lancer, down through history, when you went back to the Roman Empire, the rise and fall of that, the British Empire, there's always been armies, and there's always been fights, but there was always great generals. And I'm sure once the battle was over, The generals had to have an awful lot of respect for one another, and I think that's what it is with me and Jerry Lawler. I think it's, what would you call it, just mutual respect, brother. Now, just let me tell you something, Lancer. Out of all the fights that we've had, the little superstar has come out on top in most of them. Oh, I'm not bragging. I'm sure a lot of you watching this, you're just going to... No, don't walk away, Jerry. If you're watching this, just listen to what I got to say to you, brother. There's a couple of dates in everybody's life. I'm sure Lancers and all Americans remember where he was the day JFK got shot. They remember where they were when Elvis Presley died. And there's another one in the back of the superstar mind. It was a phone call. It happened about 2 or 3 years ago, Lance, and I was going to wrestle Nick Bockwinkel. And the phone rung one day, and I picked it up, and I said hello. And on the other end of it was you, Kingfish. And you said, superstar, you're running hot. You may just beat Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA world title. And if you do, promise me I'll get the first shot. Well, it's obviously he remembered it, Lance, because I get the first shot at you, Kingfish. So, see what I'm talking about, brother? All down through history, there's things that you remember and things that come and go. Well, you remember the date, because I got the first shot. You're a man of your word, Lawler, and I can't ask no more than that. And that happened 3 years ago, Lance Russell. So all I can tell you is, Jerry, walk the aisle and bring the gold to the belt. And bring the belt to the ring. But I can tell you this, brother, whatever it takes for the little Aussie to win it, I'm going to do it. And I'll have the respect and whatever else you want to call it. I got it all for you, Kingfish, because you're one of the best, and you've just proved it to the world. But the thing that's in the back of my mind, Lancer, we'll have 60 minutes to prove to the world who the best is between you and me. Jerry the King Lawler, Bill Superstar Dundee. It's the same song, just a different tune, and the tune is World Championship. You got the belt, and I won it.
Bill, this is a situation that I think is incredible. You guys have had some of the greatest bouts in history. You're going into this very confident. This week, you will be wrestling Lawler for the first time as the world heavyweight champion, and yet you still have great confidence about the match.
Oh, I sure do, because now, Kingfish, just think of this. When Henning came down to your backyard, all the pressure was on Henning. Now all the pressure's on you. When you walk to the ring, the champion, Lance, and you and I have done it a bunch of times, Jerry Lawler, as single champions and tag champions, you know how the pressure is. Well, the pressure's on you, Jerry, and I just hope next time we wrestle, it'll be on me, because I plan on beating you. Thank you.
The superstar Bill Dundee. What a battle that is going to be. Some of the great single matches in history have come between Lawler and Dundee, and now the world heavyweight title will be thrown in as an added incentive. You don't want to miss that this week.
Hungry.
back into the action here in just a moment. I got to tell you, Wednesday night, we got some kind of action coming up in the Evansville Coliseum. We're talking about a title defense by the new king of championship wrestling. Jerry Lawler, the world title holder, will be defending against a guy that he's been against a number of times, but never before as world champion, Bill Superstar Dundee. That's right. Lawler against Dundee with a world title at stake. Robert Fuller will be going against Jeff Jarrett in a grudge match. Kurt Hennig, the former champ, will be facing Scott Steiner. Tommy Doug Gilbert and Gary Young will be going against Billy Travis, Mark Starr, and Tom Brandy. And those are the final 4 matches. There will be 3 other matches in all. Let me tell you, Wednesday night, the action with something. 7 matches with a world heavyweight title match taking place in the Evansville Coliseum. Make it a point. Get a friend. Come on out and be there. Ladies and gentlemen, the world heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler. Oh, boy.
Boy, I'll tell you, Lance, it's been a long, long time coming, and you don't know and the fans don't know how good it feels to hear you introduce me that way, because it's something that I've dreamed about ever since the very first day I stepped in a wrestling ring, pulled on a pair of tights, and even dreamed or thought about being a professional wrestler. This has been the ultimate goal, as it is for every wrestler, and to finally attain that and to finally reach it. I'm sure you know there are a lot of people out there that have set some lofty goals, and you know how it feels when you reach those goals, and it's a feeling that I really can't describe. I just hope that some of the fans out there are as happy as I am about it, because what this is doing, Lance, is it's focusing the eyes of the entire wrestling world on this area. You know, we have never had a world champion from this area. We've had a lot of title contenders, and we've had a lot of shots at the world championship, but it's always eluded our grasp down here. But now that we can't say that any longer, the world championship is here in this area, and what I want to do with this championship, naturally, I'm not going to duck anybody. I want to be a fighting champion, and I want to be a champion that the fans and the AWA can be proud of. And by doing this, I'm not saying that I won't travel all over the world to defend this belt, but by the same token, what I also want to do is I want to try to stay, for a while at least, as close as I can to home, right here in the Louisville area, the Tennessee area, right here in the Mid-South, and let some of the top wrestlers in the world, some of the top contenders, come here to try to take the title away from me. And that way, I think the fans are winners too, because that way they're going to get to see some of the top wrestlers, not from just this area, but from all over the world, come right here into this area.
Well, there's no rest, as you well know, Jerry. Bill Dundee told us a little earlier about an incident that took place 3 years ago when he was about to wrestle Nick Bockwinkel, and you called him on the phone and said, "Hey, Bill, I want to promise that you will give me the first shot if you win that title from Nick Bockwinkel." And you guys made a mutual pact as to giving each other the first shot.
Well, I understand that that's what Bill has said. That Bill has you know, I'm not going to say this didn't happen, but to be perfectly honest with you, Lance, and with the fans, I don't recall it. I don't remember it. And I wouldn't lie about it. If I did remember it, I'd be the first to say that it happened. But I don't recall that happening. But surely Bill wouldn't lie about this situation. But the match is signed. It is going to take place. And I can't think of a more fitting first opponent, because down throughout the years, everybody knows that the fights that Bill Dundee and I have been in, sometimes with each other,
as the world tag team champion,
sometimes as partners, that's right. But you can always count on Bill Dundee to do one thing, and that's give 110% and to try to win every match he's in, and Bill knows he can expect the same thing from me. So I can assure you the first world title defense is going to be a good one. You won't want to miss it.
Make you know
60 seconds, your time out, my friend, to tell you about some of the action around the territory on Thursday, May the 19th. Lagouti, Indiana, at the St. John's Gym. You can get tickets at Mattis Pizza and save $1 by getting them in advance. On Thursday, May the 26th, Madison, Indiana, at the Madison Consolidated High School. And Saturday, May the 28th, Madisonville, Kentucky, at the Browning Springs Middle School. Once again, let me run over the final 4 matches that are taking place in Evansville. There are 3 opening single matches and then a 6-man tag with Tommy and Doug Gilbert and Gorgeous Gary Young against Billy Travis, Mark Starr, and Tom Brandy. Kurt Hennig will be facing Scott Steiner, Robert Fuller, and Jeff Jarrett in a grudge match that won't quit. And then an AWA World Heavyweight Championship match when the King, Jerry Lawler, and the new champion will be defending against Bill Superstar Dundee with that title on the line. You got to be out there Wednesday.
Right now by Jeff Jarrett. Jeff, special week coming up for you here. You've got a match coming up with Robert Fuller. Now, in case some of the fans don't know what has happened, you had a match scheduled with Robert Fuller this past week, but he was unable to make it because he has a concussion.
Well, that's a report that I've heard, that he does have a concussion. Let's show the tape and maybe the people understand why.
All right, this is a previous match. Let's take a look at what went on here, and maybe you can see what happened to Robert Fuller. Let's take a look.
Love to see the videotape of that. I hope they're taping that.
Oh, believe me, Lawler is not thinking about that now. Look, here comes Jeff Jarrett. Slams Fuller right in the head with a trash can. Jeff Jarrett bit it over his head. Lawler tied up in the rope. Here comes Kenny D out to help Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett stopped Fuller cold, ripped that trash can over his head. Look at that trash can, Danny.
That thing's pushed in about 5 inches there, and it was all pushed into Fuller's forehead.
Here's the loser. Look at Robert Fuller. He grabs the trash can. He's still staggering around the ring. He was nailed by Jeff Jarrett, and Fuller slams the can down. He is incensed at what took place. But he was a victim of his own shenanigans. He got Missy Hyatt to interfere, and then when Kenny D came out to take care of Missy Hyatt, Fuller's attention was distracted. He slams the trash can down. He is burning up. Robert Fuller, the Tennessee stud, defeated by the King.
I don't need to say it. You got the one. That's what this man needs, baby. He ain't safe in this town.
Well, Jeff, it didn't look like a concussion right there, but a lot of times those things are kind of delayed.
Yeah, well, Dave, I'll be quite honest with you. When I ran to the ring, I wasn't really thinking what the outcome was going to come. All I knew is that I wanted to stop what was going on in the ring. I saw a trash can sitting right there, and I knew that metal. That metal sometimes don't give too much. That can did over his head, so he must have a pretty tough head. But I'll be honest, I wasn't trying to give him a concussion, but I was trying to get stopped what happened. So now it's the second week. I believe we are going to have the match this week, and like I said last week, I don't really think we're going to have a wrestling match. What do you think, Dave?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Just from the reaction of Fuller there, Fuller will be here this week, and I think it may turn out to be a pretty good brawl there, so you got to come prepared for that.
That's right, Dave. You said the word, prepare. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prepare my mind. And Robert Fuller, that's all I can say. I'm just going to, I'm not going to come to wrestle. I'm going to come to fight because I'm sure that's what you got on your mind. And Dave, we'll just see what happens.
Okay, Jeff. Good luck to you. Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, baby,
had those belts. The Cuban Assassins, the Cuban Choir Boys, Brother Ernest calls them now, have them now. I know you want to get them back.
Yeah, what happened the other night, we can't make up any excuses for that. I mean, it happened. We knew during the match we should have never taken our eyes off of their manager. We let ourselves down. We did take our eyes off of him, and what happened, happened. That day's behind us now. We have to push that aside and go on. We're not going to come out here and make a bunch of threats about what we're going to do this week or what we're going to do next week. When we step up into the ring, we'll simply let that do the talking for us.
Well, good luck to you. It was, I think a lot of fans were kind of taken a little bit by surprise that you had progressed enough to win the belts to begin with. You've lost them, but I don't think anyone will be surprised now that, or doubt that you're going to be able to take them back. So good luck to you this week.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I got to say, with the Cuban Choir Boys, you got these big 250, 300-pound men running around with a little squirrely manager. And we all know Brother Ernest a little bit on the feminine side anyway, so you got to kind of wonder about these guys. And there's rumors running around Brother Ernest and his, special little disease? We want to wrestle these guys as little as possible. So we're going to really go after the belt.
Okay, gentlemen. Ron and Don Harris, good luck to you with the championship match coming up. Got you guys in the ring right here, right now. Tag team action coming up on Championship Wrestling. Referee Jerry Calhoun has stepped up into the ring. Ron and Don are there. And their opponents coming in right now. A couple of large ones out of Houston, Texas, sometimes Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, I understand, Gary. Little Rock, Arkansas now is where he is. Gorgeous Gary Young, his partner out of Greasy Corner, Arkansas. Big Don Bass. This match is going to be a one-fall, 10-minute, 15-minute time limit match. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun is the referee. Here we go. It is Don Harris of the Bruise Brothers. Starting for his team, Gorgeous Gary Young with a headlock. Don fires him into the ropes. Gary Young with a shoulder. Boy, this Young is huge. He weighs in right around 250, a little under 250. And he is tall, he is solid. However, he gives away height to a couple of the tallest wrestlers around. Ron and Don Harris, they weigh in at about 500 pounds total weight. 6'7" their weight. This is Ron in there right now. Ron bars the arm of Gary Young. Back under the ropes. Young puts him across the ring. Harris sets and slams him. Takes him down. Nice move with the arm. Gary Young on the mat. Tag made, and here comes Don Harris back in. Don Bass had a brief flurry of activity in there before being sent back to the corner by referee Jerry Calhoun. Hey, a handful of hair. Can you see it? You can't see it too good from that angle, but take my word for it. Gary Young had a handful of hair on Don Harris. Here comes Bass.
I am appalled. I cannot believe these guys have come out here and accused me of having some dreaded disease. How they'd make fun of someone like that. I don't have any disease. I had an intestinal fluke. I can document it for anyone that wants it, and it's a sad thing. People that are sick with that should be pitied and should be called upon to get rid of that, not call somebody, say somebody has something like that they don't. I've never in my life.
Well, that's the comment from Brother Ernest, who you just saw walking past the camera there. And look out, he's over in the Harris's corner. Oh, he has distracted Ron Harris. Don in the ring, meanwhile, against Gary Young. Brother Ernest has just slapped Ron Harris down in the corner. He's on that. Oh, look out. Look out. We've got the Cuban Assassins out here. They grabbed Ron down on the floor. All right, we've got the referee has stopped the match. Disqualified Young and Don Bass. Cuban Assassins going after the Bruise Brothers, Ron and Don Harris. Look out. Brother Ernest came out here upset at a couple of the remarks that the Bruise brothers had made. Ron and Don commenting on an upcoming match against these Cuban assassins. And Brother Ernest came out here, interfered, brought the assassins out, and here we go. All right, here comes some help. Mark Starr, Scott Steiner, and there go the Cubans, the choir boys, and Brother Ernest, Gary Young, and Don Bass following them out of here as the referee says, get out. Ron and Don are going to get the victory here by disqualification. 2 minutes, 37 seconds the time on it, and they ended up having to battle the Cuban choir boys, Cuban assassins, during and after the match. But they head out of here with the victory intact. We've got more. We'll be back with it in a moment.
We got just a second or two to talk about some of the action around the territory, and then I want to run over the Dynamite card coming up Wednesday night in the Evansville Coliseum. Thursday, May the 19th, Lagouti, Indiana. You folks around there, it'll be your first crack at championship wrestling in the St. John's Gym. Be sure and get your tickets early. You can save a buck. Thursday, May the 26th, Madison, Indiana, at the Madison Consolidated High School. And Saturday, May the 28th, at Madisonville, Kentucky, at the Browning Springs Middle School. Those are all the area towns. Let me tell you about the action coming at the Coliseum Wednesday night. It is going to be headlined with an AWA World Heavyweight Championship match when Jerry Lawler, the brand new champion, defends against Bill Superstar Dundee. You know the kind of battles they've had in the past. Imagine with the world title at stake, Dundee against Lawler. You'll also see Robert Fuller going against Jeff Jarrett. The former champ, Kurt Hennig, will be going against Scott Steiner. And then a six-man tag match that'll have plenty of fireworks. Tommy and Doug Gilbert, joined by gorgeous Gary Young, will be facing Billy Travis, Mark Starr, and Tom Brandy. There will be 3 other single matches on the card, 7 bouts in all, and all of that takes place Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum with a defense by Jerry Lawler of the new World Heavyweight title taking place. You make it a point to be there.
Page continues. About another month to go in June. All of this comes to a grand finale here. Total prize money available, $250,000, $250,000 on the line of the Renegades Rampage. And the contest going along, I'm sure most of you wrestling fans are well aware of it right now. And this week's winner of the Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest is Darlene P. Huddleston of Memphis, Tennessee. You are the winner this week of the Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest. Now, our weekly winners, again, to refresh your memory, win some prizes. You win mugs, T-shirts, a prize package. A whole lot of stuff will be sent to you as the weekly winner. But also, your name goes in as one of the finalists. And the finalist will be sent to the site of the Renegades Rampage Finals. You'll have $500 spending money and all sorts of great things. It should be a terrific time for the finals of the Renegade Rampage. And again, we're getting close now. We're coming up just a little more than 1 month away. We would urge you to enter this week's Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest. Here is the question. So get ready to answer this one and send in your answer. Remember, all the correct answers only, will be put in a big tub, and one of them will be drawn out, and that will be the winner. Here is this week's Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest question. Name 2 wrestlers that Jackie Fargo had great success with as tag team partners. 2 wrestlers that Jackie Fargo, the fabulous one, had success with as tag team partners. If you know the answer to that question, put it down on a postcard and send it to Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest. Very important that you have that on the card. Again, Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest. You send that in care of WMC TV5, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, and the zip code is 38104. Again, Renegades Rampage Trivia Contest, WMC TV5, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, and the zip code 38104. Get your entry in, and good luck to you. Hope you're one of the weekly winners. Oh, yeah. coming back in here right now as if we needed to see you, Brother Ernest.
It's a time for joy and gladness. I just get a feeling all the way through all my bones, my soul, everything, that you know, and a man has to do what a man has to do. They talk about me. They run those rampant lies because Lance is on vacation. If y'all got some kind of rumor you're going to start about him?
No.
Well, that's what I say. But it's a time for us to be glad and celebrate. And you should know that those boys, those Harris parents, those retarded parents shouldn't even let bread to have those children.
Come on.
They must be junior high school graduates.
You come out here.
It just saddens me. And each night I go home and read the good book and try to keep people like that in my thoughts, that something greater will come to them. And look at here at these wonderful, wonderful champions that we have here. It's a time for us to celebrate. The right people have the belt. The belts are in my corner. Enough of that. I just want to tell you, the belts are in the right corner.
They don't think so.
Oh, they are. And I just want to tell you that this week we're offering a special to you. You know, to continue Wrestling USA and to continue being on and keeping the champions up and doing the things we do, for $100 donation, we're going to send you an autographed picture of the boys and myself. But remember, your envelope needs to have C-note on it. C-note. That's what we want to do. And we've got to build this. And remember, the money is not for me. It's not for these boys. It's to build something for you, where you can have a place to go for Wrestling USA. You know, another thing that saddens my heart is about Brother Young. They have gone and brought that Missy Hyde in. Brought that Missy Hyde to take one of my followers, Brother Gary Young, who sat many a night and studied with me and got Missy to go. And I just want to dedicate the quiet time to the recovery of Brother Young, that he'll see and come back to the flock. We miss you, Brother Young. The flock misses you, and it goes away. You know, lust is a horrible thing. It has torn many kingdoms down, many presidents, these old televangelists on TV. Look at what's happened. You know what lust does, don't you, Brother Dave?
I hear what you're saying.
You understand. I know you do. Well, we're going to leave, and we're going to dedicate this quiet time. Remember, don't forget, go this afternoon, get you a money order, and send that $100 to Wrestling USA so we can have a picture in your family album. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ernest. Quiet time just isn't quiet enough when he's here. Brother Ernest, can we get him in the ring here? You're new champions. This is a non-title match, by the way, but we've got the Cuban choir boys, he calls them, going into the ring right now to do battle against a couple of fine young wrestlers. Talking about Mark Starr and Scott Steiner. Mark Starr out of Tampa, Florida. Scott Steiner out of Detroit, Michigan. The Cubans out of Havana with Brother Ernest in their corner. It'll be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. And here we go. Mark Starr starts against Cuban Assassin number 2. Mark and Scott Steiner, his partner, giving away quite a bit of weight to these Cubans. They are a stocky pair. The Cubans will weigh in at a total of about 530 pounds. Scott and Mark weighing in at a total of 473. Mark Starr. The Cuban has him in a headlock. Off the ropes. Mark leaps over, sets. Powers him down to the mat. He's got a cover. Counts at 1. That's all he gets. The other Cuban was on the way to break it up, but his partner had broken the cover before he even got there. A rugged bunch. This is Scott Steiner. Scott out of Detroit, Michigan. A cover by Scott. He got a 2 count. Cuban Assassin on the mat, very near the corner. I think he was reaching for a tag, but his partner was on the wrong side of the ring post to get the tag. Now he gets it, and here comes Cuban Assassin number 1 in. Scott Steiner backs him under the rope, fires him across the way, leaps over, drop kicks him down to the mat. Mark Starr back in. Off the rope. The big boot by the Cuban Assassin. He makes the tag. Cuban Assassin number 2 will be coming back in. He's the one that started this one. Oh, look out. The Ruse brothers, Ron and Don Harris, grabbing brother Ernest, and they are assisting him away from ringside. Referee's calling for the bell. Stop match. All right, it's a stop match. But the Cubans and the Harrises, Ron and Don, going at it again here. The Cubans interfered in their match earlier when Brother Ernest came in here, and they are just kind of returning the favor, they figure, trying to help Brother Ernest away from the action. All right, so the match was stopped. Jerry, was it stopped or a disqualification? We get a ruling from the referee. I believe I understood the referee to say that the match was simply stopped, so it will be a no contest, no match, unless we get a different ruling from that. We'll check on it. We'll be back here with you with more action in just a moment. Team champions have just climbed into the ring right here. They've got those fine-looking championship belts around their waist. This is a non-title match. Talking about Steve Kern and Mike Graham, they are going against the team of Keith Eric out of Memphis, Tennessee, and Tommy Punk out of New York City. Their total weight 441. And on the other side of the ring at a total of 472 from Tampa, Florida, Steve Kern. And starting for their team, Mike Graham. This match will be one fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, keeping an eye on things as Mike Graham puts Tommy Punk down on the mat, grabs that leg and puts a twist on. Oh, a little extra pressure. Mike Graham. Boy, what a fine-looking tag team. A couple of fine wrestlers, tag team wrestlers and single wrestlers over the years. And Mike Graham, Mike, of course, from the wrestling family with tremendous history. And Steve Kern, you know him well. Together, they make a great tag team. Tommy Punk wondering why he ever got out of bed this morning. As first Mike Graham and now Steve Kern are really working on that left leg and knee. Ooh, Steve snaps it back, almost like a jackknife. He's over to the corner, and here comes Keith Eric. Keith Eric, who has battled some of the toughest competition in the wrestling world. Going against a couple of them right now. Mike Graham from around behind grabs him after the tag made by Steve Kern back in the corner. Mike takes him down. Eric on the mat. Mike with a headlock. Did not go for a cover. Eric raked his hands across Mike Graham's eyes, got a momentary advantage, and used it to get the tag on his bigger partner, Tommy Punk out of New York City. Tommy went right into the corner. Mike Graham saw him coming and nailed him. Over to the corner, the tag on Steve Kern. Great tag team move there. Don't try to do it all yourself. Your partner is waiting in the corner for the tag. Mike tagged him, and now Steve has Tommy Punk off the ropes. Round behind him. He's in a sleeper position. Let's see if he can get it and make it stick. He's got a pretty good one. Mike Graham keeping Eric out of the action. He body slams him. Referee Jerry Calhoun is checking. I think Steve may have him here. Mike Graham able to keep Eric out of it. That is going to be it. Steve Kern, Mike Graham gets the hands raised and a victory here on Championship Wrestling over Tommy Punk and his partner Keith Eric. We've got some more championship action coming up. Steve just wakes him up. Good morning. Welcome back. Hey, we are out of time. We do hope you'll be joining us next week. I'm Dave Brown. Lance will be back with you next week, too, and we'll see you then.